Welcome to 24/7 Flat Earth Discord channel. Be sure to go to VC Check and 1 to get your VC verification tags to get involved in the conversation about our Earth. Be sure to bring your verifiable Earth curvature evidence, though.
Enemy spotted.
Tim Shady.
I'm on the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
Well, you're a flat earther, bro. You want to go through the flat earth sort of test. It's like you need to give 3 solid evidences, if that's a word, but like to articulate them quite well. And so like you can't say laser tests, but you don't know anything about laser tests. You don't know the distances and the elevation. So it's up to you if you want the flat earther tag, bro.
you're gonna have to say that last part one more time.
I'm just saying, if you want, sorry, I should speak a little bit slower for you, man. Sorry. Yeah, if you want the flat earther tag, it's just it's basically 3 solid proofs you need to give to get the role. It's the same with the globe earth as well. If someone wants a globe earth tag, they need to give me like 3 solid proofs. So if you want that, it's up to you if you want to go for it in the live stream.
Oh, sure. Do you want to do like just pretty generalized things, or
Like, don't point in the sky or like stick to the earth, like stuff that like is solid. Like, I mean, I could give you like 40. I could sit here for an hour and just like talk about the amount of contradictions and stuff in the globe model, but just 3 solid proofs, bro. Like,
yeah? I
there's
mean,
major
water
ones.
is always flat, and large bodies of water are always flat. There's no evidence that suggests that it can curve and needs a container. That's
Yeah.
the biggest one, and they'll try and say something like, well, the only way you can prove it is on a scale so large that you wouldn't be able to see it for yourself. So
That was the first one I gave. I remember. I think it was Karen B that done that as well. No, it wasn't it? Karen B. It was the person that found me when I first got to the server. I think it was. Well, it wasn't the battle mod. Man, I can't even remember. But yeah, water. I mean, that water destroys the globe model, man. If you go to the ocean and just look at it, it's blindingly flat, man. Right? It's,
it's
I
like
found that.
and they think you're stupid for saying that too, and it's like, oh my god, it's like the flattest thing you can get is water. That's why we use water levels, bubble levels to
Really, used water
make
construction
something
for
flat,
centuries.
and you gotta say that the 70% of the world, whatever's the oceans, are all water, and they're just gonna curve. Like,
Woman.
so crazy
Yeah,
that we believed it. You know,
that's a solid number 1 solid, so go for it number 2, bro.
um, a vacuum, the vacuum one. I mean, that's so blatantly obvious. Like a vacuum can't exist next to a non-vacuum. It has to equalize. Um,
I'll
so
elaborate a
Earth,
little bit more. Yeah.
Earth's atmosphere is, an atmosphere. It has air. It has all these elements, but then apparently space is just a vacuum void of
Ridiculous.
any. So we know in real life a vacuum can't exist without a container containing it.
Yeah, well,
Um. So
that's the thing.
yeah,
They actually need 2 containers. They need a container for their vacuum, because how can you have a vacuum without containment? And then you need a container for the gas pressure surrounding Earth. Yeah, so they need 2 containers. Fucking ridiculous. But yeah,
wait,
man, that's solid.
wait,
That's solid as well.
repeat that. You're gonna need two for what now?
No, you would need a container
Oh,
to have a vacuum in the first place. How could you create a vacuum without containment? And then you
yeah,
need containment for the gas pressure.
exactly. So it's funny too if you've ever seen the movie Spaceballs, where that she brings, like, there's the giant like Death Star, like, as a woman with a vacuum, and she, like, it opens up a lid in the sky and she vacuums out all the air. It's like,
This
yeah,
year, I can remember that, man. I cannot remember that. But
it's like they're
I might go
telling
back
you
and watch
right
that.
here how stupid you are. Uh,
Fucking right. Rubbing it in your face.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's
I
solid.
mean that that's second one that's so obvious. And then
Yeah, go for it. Number 3, brother, and you've got the tag.
number 3, let's make it a good one. Yeah, that's my last one. I'm trying to think of something good. Sorry, give me a second. Um,
You'd be struggling because there's fucking loads of good fucking proofs that they're
yeah,
flat.
dude.
There's fucking millions of them, man.
So if I pick one, can I change it later?
Nah, but
And,
I mean, it's not getting like recorded anywhere. It's just a verbal confirmation. It's like, so if we gave the
oh,
tag to someone and they weren't solid, like they came into live stream and they had a flat earther tag, but then they were not quite sure what they were talking about. So we just try and ensure that anyone that gets
to get rid of the trolls, pretty much, to make sure
yeah,
that they're legit.
yeah, man.
Gotcha. Okay.
But you don't sound like a troll, bro. I mean, it's some fucking formality. You
We
can be the third one.
yeah. I mean, we see the same stars for centuries. They never change. I mean, it's so obvious that that wouldn't happen if we were spinning it at all these different speeds through the galaxies. We would
Do,
see we'd see different stars every day. So
do you know the separate vectors and the speeds that the Earth's supposedly moving? By any chance?
yeah, I mean, it's like what is it like? The sun and the whole solar system is rising towards the great attractor, and then the Earth is spinning around the sun, and then
Do you know the
I forget
velocities?
the
Like the
speed, but it's
speeds?
like
Can you remember?
66,000 miles per hour. Um, yeah, I forget.
Yeah, that's all right, man. I gave you the tag
Like a
anyway, brother.
million miles. The sun is going like a million miles, so it's pulling us that I don't
So,
know. Some,
as far as I know, I remember the sun's supposedly moving at like 500,000 miles per hour. It's like 460 or whatever. I would imagine the number, like, for probably like doubles down or halves into some kind of 666 someplace because that seems to be everywhere. But yeah,
yeah,
that, it's like 500,000 the sun's travelling supposed to be, then we're 66,600 miles per hour round the sun, then the Earth's spinning, then there's maybe a tilt and a wobble, and like it's ludicrous, man. Even if there
yeah,
was one motion, if the Earth was spinning one like specific way, a constant speed, that would allow the stars to be the same. But once you add different vectors in, that's
right.
it. It's like ludicrous, man.
Exactly. It's like if we were right, yeah. If they never said the sun was moving as well, then I'd be like, okay, yeah. I mean, I can see that. The stars, you'd see the same one, but it's like our entire solar system is just speeding through the universe. It's like no,
It's like
that's
it's like a vortex, man. It's helical. The solar system's helical. Like, imagine if you got taught that at school, because they just showed us the sun in the
right.
middle and the Earth spinning around it. They just showed us that basic stuff. Like, that was obviously deliberate. And then you find out later on when you get older and you look into it, you find that the sun's dragging everything. Like, if they told you that when you were a kid, you'd probably be like, nah, that's bullshit, man. So they just tell
Yeah,
you some basic garbage information. Oh man, there's a
yeah,
fucking astrolabe on the TV. Holy shit.
yeah,
Fucking hell.
yeah. I remember being a kid too, and I was like, thinking to myself, I was playing on Nintendo 64. I think it was like Star Wars or something, and I was flying in a spaceship, flying around shooting people, and I remember thinking to myself, man, if I'm looking at this planet right now and I flew to it from the bottom, at some point, am I going to be upside down if I'm flying straight up? And I was like, wait, this makes no sense to me. So you're telling me when I enter the atmosphere from the underside of it, that at some point my all the blood is gonna rush to my brain. Like, so ridiculous. But as a kid, I was like, wow, that makes no sense, but it's so cool, you know. But now I'm just like, yeah, no, it's because it defies
So,
reality. No,
see when you see that, when you just mentioned blood rushing to your head, see the Tim Peaks, when he does the somersault, and you see when he gets up. So if he was like in weightlessness, why would the blood have rushed to his head when he done that somersault? And when he
That's the
well,
thing with
I'll
that
put it
tension.
in I'll put it in live stream, man. You see it.
Mm-hmm. No, I've seen all the space
I
fake.
live stream. I forgot to say as well, bro. Live stream voice text. So when anyone's talking about anything, like you'll get a running commentary and you'll get links and memes and whatever in the live stream voice text. So it's handy to be in there when you're just listening to VC.
Oh, so okay, you're gonna have to run me through that one more time. So you said the line of the voice text. Gotcha.
Yeah, in the live stream voice text, any like information regarding like the conversation, whatever the topic is,
Oh.
people will be posting stuff. You'll get PDFs and drives and links and whatever, man. But I mean, the whole server jam packed full of stuff, bro. If you scroll down below the VC, literally everything's alphabetized, and like anything that we've got like an answer for, it's in the server, man. Literally, even if you just go to the magnifying glass and just search like a specific word if you're looking for information and it'll pop up. Plus we've got the hashtags as well. If you put hashtag eclipses or hashtag chroma key, any of the sort of topics, they'll pop up as well.
Wow, that's really handy. Okay, cool.
Oh
Yeah, I
man.
see the astronaut flying upside down now on the. Since you mentioned that,
Yeah, what?
damn.
Oh, here's the video for it. Watch that one. You see it easily in the video, man. The MP4. Like his face goes scarlet red, man. When he like
Uh huh.
pokes the finger.
Yeah, I'm watching it. Wow, that's cool. How'd you guys do that? Just a bot?
He just program the links into it, man. Watch him when his head comes up. Look, he's scarlet red, man.
Yeah.
That proves that obviously he's not in a weightless environment, man.
Yeah. The I was watching the Sean or is it Sean Hibbler? Sean Hibbler's
Yeah,
most recent interview. Man, that
level.
one where he got him with the harness actually showing. Did you see that?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. He said he was doing it for months and months, and he finally found like the smoking gun NASA astronaut on a wire. Like I guess the green screen malfunctioned for a second, and it actually showed him attached to the wire. It was great. You'll have to check that out.
Yeah, there are a bunch of videos out there. Yes, I had seen them before. Like plenty of them. They messed up. Doing. I guess they do
Oh,
live stream and they do green screen and stuff. Yeah, they messed up real bad.
Yeah, you're
Matt,
saying where the
video.
yeah,
You see,
yeah.
Matt, the video on my YouTube channel. It's called Astronauts. Like literally, the first 45 seconds is that guy hanging on the wire with the woman with the hairspray. That destroys them instantly. Literally 40 seconds of a video.
Did you hear?
And
I've heard one of the arguments for the Globers was well, yeah, they perm their hairs so that it doesn't keep floating in their face. So it's
bro,
like anything you show them, they're just gonna say, "Oh, well, this is why." So it's like, what's the point sometimes with some people?
I mean, the
the-
saddest part, man. These globe earthers, they have excuses for everything. For
Yeah.
everything, bro. And that's one of the saddest part ever, Instead of like sit back and rethink like shit, they could be lying to us. Nope, they just defend anything. They just defend
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's like what you were saying earlier. It's like those are. It's like it's more than just globe versus flat. It's like you guys that are defending this are going to be the same people that are like being used against me and the other flat earthers at some point. It's like you guys are the ones that are going to stay plugged in and oppress us at some point. Even though you guys are the powerless ones, it's like you guys are the matrix agents.
Yeah, there's a lot of and anti-flat earthers out there too, and there's a few of them coming here every now and then. But they pick and choose when to come here and when not to come here. You know, they can see who's in here, and a lot of them they make sure they don't catch QE or mayhem when they come in here. So yeah, I've been noticing that lately.
Those like the two guys that know their shit the best, or what?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of the OGs in here, they know this stuff. Um,
Yeah.
they know this stuff really, really
Mm.
well, and they really well
I know my,
spoken
I
too. So,
In question, is today Speculation Sunday yet?
yes, it is. Go for
It
it.
is. Oh my gosh. I've been waiting.
Yep. What's up, Wave? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm just trying to get something going here.
Yeah.
so let me get this. I don't know if I interpreted what you were saying earlier. Um, Spake, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm just something to watch bro.
Okay. So when you were saying that I had to get verified to do the VC, Globe Earthers can still do that to get verified, right?
Yeah, well,
Like
everyone gets VC verified, then they get, or if they've got the ability and they know enough about the model, then they can get their tag for Globe Earth. So we try and make,
okay.
or at least I always make sure that they know what they're talking about and they're not just in blind belief. But a lot of people have started speaking to about the Globe Earth role, and because I've been like going through and picking at the things that they've said, they've ended up saying that they never wanted it and they wanted to just wait to see what they could like find out. So like, a lot
Right.
of people are just they believe the model just because they've seen it on TV and like they've been taught bare minimum stuff at school. So most people are just going along with it. It's not their fault. Like I don't hold that against
Mm.
them. I've got
No, I don't
endless
either.
patience with trolls, because I know they're just lacking out.
Yeah, for sure. I was just making sure that both sides were able to talk. That's good. Good that both are able
Yeah,
to
yeah.
express their opinions. It's what we need. um,
Don't know how it works now. Washer dryer, man. Jesus.
yeah.
Mm, okay.
Um, yeah, man. Lots of people get caught up on the southern stuff, like the southern stars and the southern sun, and so it's where a lot of flat earthers like start losing their knowledge. I feel like, at least the ones that I've talked to.
What about the
Um,
stars? Did you say that?
that's where a lot of people that I have done
Yeah.
a lot of research in it, so I get it. But like a lot
What
of
do you mean?
people that I
You
see
mean because
doing
the stars
debate.
going? Do you mean that like because the stars appear to be going in different directions? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, that's the thing though.
I,
They are going. I mean, the stars are all going from east to west. It depends on your
yeah.
perspective where
It's
you
just
are. It's like
exactly.
if you're standing on a road and you're looking at a car coming towards you from the right hand side, say, and then you cross the road and look, the car's coming from the left hand side, but it's not changed direction, like that.
Right, right. No, no. I understand why. I was just saying
Yeah.
that's where a
No, that's
lot. I
what you
feel like
do to explain it to them.
a lot of them don't get it because the stars in the south are going faster. So it's like you know those are going to dip down at the horizon sooner, and you have a dome of perspective. Um, it's like you see in a cone shape wherever you're looking. So whenever you're looking at the southern stars, they're going to appear to set, you know, close to, how do I explain that? So they're all going to come from east to west, but it's going to appear as if they're going in a circle because you see in a cone they're dipping at your horizon. It's not a physical horizon; it's the vision of your or the limit of your eyesight. So it's like in the north that works fine, but it's hard for globe earthers to grasp that that the South Stars work that way, you know,
But see,
and all.
but at the end of the day, even if we never had a reasonable explanation for it, it doesn't make the Earth a globe. Like at the end of the
Right,
day, they seem to think that if we've not got the answer to every random question, then the Earth's still a globe. And like when we go
right.
through the Alien eclipse, like they still are like you explain to them, you show them the footage of it, they can go and research it to prove these eclipses happen, but still it doesn't break the sort of psychosis.
Oh yeah, I
Because it is a psychosis, bro.
dude.
Some of them are
The more I
absolutely
look
insane.
into that, yeah, the more I look into that eclipse thing, I'm like, dude, how do you defend this? I don't.
I know.
I try
But then,
and put
no, they say
myself.
refraction. That's their defence, refraction, but that doesn't answer why the the shadow's travelling from the top down the
Wait,
way
that
rather than
that's
up.
the defense. Is
So
refraction.
I give them refraction. I say, all right, well, you're telling me that the sun's actually underneath my feet, but it's refracted, so it's up above the horizon, right? That's ridiculous, but I'll still give you it because the shadow destroys you anyway.
Wow, 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 wow. Man, it's like we were saying refraction was but our refraction actually makes sense. It's like we're saying that the horizon is you can't really measure things beyond the horizon because refraction is just it's too great of a factor. It's you can't really have any accurate reading from the horizon. Um, but we do see things way too far than we should. That's a given. Um, and they're not mirages. They're mirages are always inverted or off the ground. You know, and you'll see the whole Chicago skyline or Mount. Oh, there's some mountain that's so far away. I forget the name of it, but it's so far away, and you can see the entire thing. But they just say, "Yep, it's refracted," so that's why you can see it. So it's like, what do you do to that, man? It's like what you can't say anything against it.
Now, I like to say to them, what, so shadows are refracting then? You ever heard of a refracted shadow?
You're right. No, not me personally. But that's the thing, though. That's how their whole thing works is um, things that they haven't personally seen, or they just trust. So
I feel sorry
yeah,
for them, though, eh? I do. Like, not some of them, because some of them are absolute assholes, eh? But some of them are actually okay. Or most of them. They're just people that are lost in the sauce.
yeah, dude, definitely lost in the
I
sauce.
was lost in it myself, bro. That when the first time the guy told me about flat Earth, I was on acid. Man, I was tripping out of my mind, and I was in hysterics, laughing like fuck, giving all the normal go-to responses. Refraction. Oh, not so much refraction, but I was saying gravity and Einstein, all this bullshit that I thought that I knew, man. I was convinced that I knew it, and this guy was insane. I wasn't being a dick to him, but it was fucking. I was in like hysterics, laughing, and then a week later, I was like, right, I'm going to prove NASA's in space. And that fell apart literally the first seconds of the first video because I just put in at that time you could put fake NASA in or like anything flat Earth, like basically any topic you could just put in and find it. No, the algorithms like
Yeah,
you can't find anything. Even if you got the link for things, sometimes you can't get them.
yeah. For me, it was the space thing. Was like I saw Eric Dubé's international fake station video back in the day, and I was like, oh, this is so
But,
blatantly, obviously fake that I don't. Yeah, okay.
well,
So I was like,
uh,
that's, yeah,
anybody that like if they're a globe earther and if they like watching those movie mistake videos, where they go through like top fucking notch movies that to the untrained eye you just don't notice all these silly wee mistakes. But
right.
these professional dudes, so like that just analysis of the footage for NASA, like that was enough for me. I was a flat earther the next day. I never said it for like I don't know,
Mm.
like that was 5 years before I came to the server. And I
Yeah.
never called myself a flat earther, bro. I would never say it, man. Till I'd been in the server maybe some months, and I seen all the work that everybody, all the mods, all the staff team do in this place, and the structure of it, and the mission, and then I thought, fuck it, man. I felt proud to say I was a flat earther after that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, me
It's a
too.
good
And
trigger word as well, man. It triggers people into the argument.
dude, flat Earth is like the best IQ test, I think. It's like the actual real IQ test. It's like, is the Earth flat or a globe? And someone says a globe, then you know that you're smart. No, not really,
Bro,
but
you really don't have to be that smart to understand that the Earth's flat and stationary. Like,
no,
you could be
I think
really low IQ, man, and no.
there's a higher element to all of it too. I feel like because
Bro,
like
I think the
some
higher the
people just
IQ, the
never
harder it is
get
to get through them.
it's like some people you can show them whatever you want, but they just won't get it.
You know?
You know?
But I've noticed, like, the more intelligent people, like, especially people that have came in here and they say they've got degrees and blah, 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 and the way they carry themselves, you know that they are, like, intelligent and they've been through the higher education system. But like when you're trying to speak to them, they've got a million extra like arguments and little tiny little like things
Yeah.
that obscure things that most people don't know, but they've got every way of trying to wriggle out and keep the belief system in their mind, man. You
Mhm.
literally can see them. I call it the globe dance.
Because I mean, imagine how you were to feel, right? You go through however many years, 4 at the least, right? Usually for any higher degree, it's going to be a few more years after that. So 6, 7 years, you're in this profession, and
Mm.
you think that you are gaining all of this knowledge. So to to
Left
to
brain.
say to say that the whole world is the opposite of what you've been learning for the past almost a decade
Right.
is like eh, you're
They
not
have
going to
to fight.
admit you're wrong.
Yeah, man.
How could you
They've
do
got to fight, bro. They're trying to save. Like they could be trying to save memories from when their dad took them to see Star Wars or took them to the Epcot Centre
that?
or like all these things. But especially the education system, if you're doing higher degrees and stuff, that's basically hammering in like your as your grown up life. That's bolstering it. So like they've got a good defense mechanism like to fight against the flat Earth, man. But it is just literally they've got nothing. They're just clutching at straws constantly.
Yeah, it's funny too because sometimes you'll sometimes they'll sound so compelling. Even, I've been a flat earther since 2017, but it's like every once in a while, someone will say something that's so absurd that I'm like, and he believes it. He says
Well,
it with such conviction that I'm
a
like,
robot.
you won't, yeah, you're almost like, man, is it a globe?
So
But then you quickly, in your mind, you're like, fuck no, it's not, you know?
if if there's anybody listening that's got the Golden Globies server, can you drop the link for Tim in the live stream voice text? Because I'm not in it, but we've got a server, Tim, dedicated to the ridiculous things that Globers say. There's like voice clips as well, man.
Yeah, yeah,
But
man.
I've not got it. No, I'll search for it, man, in the wee magnifying glass. It should be there.
I don't
Probably
have
not.
gold.
You
I don't
said
have gold. But I've got something I would like to see if I can play real quick here. Just take a minute.
Suppose. What is it like?
All right, it's not working. Never mind. Excuse the intrusion.
What is it? What is it, bro? I can hear me.
Some I made. Yeah, I made for Speculation Sunday. Here, I'll paste it in here in the main
It's Monday, bro.
text.
Happy birthday to me.
Okay, so you said golden. Type it in the. Okay, let's see.
Nah, I just searched for it. I'm searching for it just now.
All right,
Bro,
I just replaced a link in there because the bot's not working.
is that a YouTube link?
SoundCloud.
I don't know. I can't find the fucking Golden Globies, man.
I mean, yeah, I've heard all of the ridiculous things. I mean,
Oh, there we go. Bro.
oh,
Um,
gotcha.
yeah.
I
See
joined
it?
it.
It's no live stream voice text. Sorry, I cut you off there,
Yeah.
bro.
No,
Forget that.
I joined it.
It got, man, it used to be better because it got a bit, people were posting loads and loads and loads. It was better when there was less stuff, came when it was the cream of the crop. But yeah, man, it's got some hilarious shit in there, man. I've not been in for a long time.
Is it just in the plain lobby chat? Is that the only, or do I
Golden
need to be
Globies,
verified?
Platinum Globies. Oh, can you not see anything else?
No, I need to be verified, I guess.
I don't know who's. I mean, I'll find. I used to be modding there. I don't know why I've still not. I've not got it still. There's Crit and
I
CB.
see welcome, and I see golden voice, and I see plain lobby.
Yeah, I'll get you now, man.
Okay. And 28,000 members on the Discord.
Hey, I just want to say I hope everybody's okay. Anybody who's towards Hawaii or California, pray y'all are safe. I know it's a little bit crazy right now.
Yeah, I wonder if NASA, or I guess they're not near there, are they? I wonder if they're,
Well, I
because
hope
I
you're
know
all
the
right too, brother.
yeah, I know the last big storm in Texas, they were running their cloud seeder thing for like hours.
It's weird because I honestly don't know what else to say about it other than that. Kind of a thoughts and prayers thing. What the hell else can I do?
Yeah, I mean, not much else you can do.
It's definitely sus though, so I can keep track and observe and watch and develop a proper opinion about it. So collect that data. I don't want to touch too much on that because I know it can get non sequitur for the topic here, but it also, to me, it's dead center on the topic too. This is exactly why it's important.
I agree.
Can't be fooled if you know the truth about this sort of thing. Somebody can't just make up some. Yeah, okay, I see exactly what's happening here.
Yeah, that's why it's like no other conspiracy completely changed Google like Flat Earth did. It's like Flat Earth came out and then for a couple of years and it was getting so big, passing Donald Trump in searches, and then it's like, okay, well, we're gonna have to fix this. You know, no other conspiracy theory has ever done that to YouTube. But Flat Earth comes through and, you know.
Yeah, it's. This is the one that will lace most people right on their ass. They'll resist, they'll try, but then, well, by the time it's all said and done, it'll have them flat on their back.
Yeah. Yep. You'd love to see it.
It's actually a lot
Like
of
a flat smack leg
platforms
sweep.
that game.
Sorry.
There's also Reddit. Like Reddit now is synonymous with like really moronic thought, but it used to be like a free form forum, which is like really, really good at first, but they like hijacked it pretty quickly.
I noticed that too. You know.
They Now, I will say this though, bro. There are a couple pockets, compartmentalized spots on Reddit that are actually decent. You just have to look for them.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're buried. Same thing with every other place, though. Like TikTok is mostly retarded, but then there's some pocket places that are okay. This group is okay.
Yeah, just like anything, you're gonna have to, and it's just gonna get worse.
Well,
these little groups like this become really, really important the more they censor everyone. Because there's power in the truth and numbers. So it's like the only way to fight against secrecy and small amount of people ruling over the majority is the majority being loud about it. Because when
that's the bad
everyone
part,
knows,
though, man. Because
yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Good man. I was just saying, yeah, when the majority of people know what's happening, the people at the top don't have power anymore, so they have to do everything they can to censor it.
Yeah. But that's the bad part, though, is we have this social assumption that if the vast majority of people say something, that it's either something everyone should agree with or it's wrong. It's like that people flip flop between, oh, well, everybody says it, so it must be true, right? And then the sarcastic person, yeah, everybody says it because it must be true, right?
It's so funny that
It's all.
the one college degree that actually makes sense in all of life would be like philosophy, and that's the one degree that you cannot make money in. It's like, or not.
Yeah.
Did I say psychology? I meant philosophy. I might have said philosophy, but it's like because
That's what you did.
philosophy
But yeah, you're right. Like,
how to think, not what to think. It
yes,
teaches you how to think, and it's so funny that is the one that you can't do shit with.
it's mostly the critical thinking and how to understand what fallacious reasoning is. Because if say you have a philosophy teacher who he's the philosopher he worships happens to be a sophist and a retard, everybody in his class is going to be influenced by that perspective. But then you have a philosopher who, this guy, he really is into the actual critical thinking and logic about it. His students will succeed, they'll thrive.
Exactly.
The problem is we have a world filled with a bunch of the sophist kind.
Uh-huh. That's right. And it's weak suffer what they must, and the strong, what is it? It's fuck. Anyways, the weak suffer what they must, and the strong get whatever they want, basically.
That's the bad part, though, is we're outnumbered by idiots. So if somebody they think their vote matters because, okay, we got numbers, and you have somebody who's intelligent but gets outvoted, all of their intelligence is meaningless.
Yeah.
People would rather study excuses for their opinions rather than truth than actually understand the facts of reality. They just want to excuse their beliefs.
What's up, someone?
It's a weird. How's fly?
I was saying
Yeah,
that's
it's
really
weird
good.
culture,
My bad.
bro.
I talked over you. My bad.
Oh,
you're
you're
good. To me, this is the grand delusion type thing. Like, everybody would rather have this fantasy make-believe world where each one of everybody's little snowflake opinions are valuable and needed. That's not reality.
No. Yeah, it's like there's always three sides to the story. It's his, hers, and the truth.
The cool thing about snowflakes is when you melt them, they turn back into a drop of water.
Yeah, and then the water lays flat.
Yeah, then it finds level. Yep. So melt all the snowflakes. Let's find level.
Damn, we're getting deep here on the Flat Earth Discord.
Hey, at least it ain't. We don't have to pull out the waders because we're getting deep in bullshit or anything. It's just water.
Yeah. But we might end up in that submarine with all the
I am not going in a submarine that deep. I know what happens. Those things collapse.
Yeah, like all them rich people on the most recent one.
That was a spectacle, which usually they are. They're just things to portray drama and fear kind of stuff. Well, they do that now. A bunch of people are like, oh, I'm not going down there. I'll never go down there because I'm not about to get crushed by the ocean.
Right, dude. I was just thinking the same thing. It's like, man, if there's people are always talking about the sky, but it's like there also has to be some sort of system going on underwater too. You know, so this world is once like us flat earthers know that it's like a designed, like a specially designed place. We know that now. Okay, there's probably something way down in the ocean that's kind of controlling either tides or just temperatures or the currents. Like, there's stuff down there that we need
There's
to
stuff
figure
in the ocean. There's stuff underground. A lot
out.
of stuff underground.
Yeah.
Stuff in the mountains, like everywhere.
Yeah.
Even the Globers will admit this, like, underground ocean exists. Like, there's depths of, like, an ocean under the ocean.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we don't talk about that.
So I agree that there's layers to this realm. We just don't know how these layers operate when it gets to the depths or the great heights.
Right, right. Oh, but don't worry, because we had some Freemason, a few of them, go down there, and they know all about everything there is to know, so you don't really need to question them. You know?
Yep, just trust the narrative and let them lead us.
Dude, that's my favorite part about it, too, is it's like they can openly tell you that all of the Apollo astronauts are admittedly Freemasons. And it's like, oh, that's just a coincidence, man. You know, it's like, okay. So it's like, I can't tell you anything. Because you are the type of person, it doesn't matter what I tell you, you believe anything. You know, like, all Freemasons, our presidents are all Freemasons, they're Skull and Bones, or, you know, royal family.
They have that strong arm hand wave, man. They can just hand wave the hell out of anything.
Yeah. It's like, it's just a coincidence. Okay, dude. Cool.
Once they say that,
like,
they
I don't
just
know,
don't think about it twice. They just forget about it.
Like some kind of weird circle of fire can happen that doesn't burn any plants or anything, and it's a perfect circle, and people would be like, oh, that's just a coincidence.
Oh, what now? I didn't understand that.
All I'm doing is just citing what Hawaiians have said about their own land. And then the video that I saw that's a circle of fire, and I'm like, how the hell do you get a perfect circle naturally?
I gotcha.
That shit don't look natural, that's all I'm saying. It looks very unnatural the way that it, yeah. And then you got boats catching on fire away from the, how did it, it's not near any trees. There's no fire connecting to it. How did they catch on fire out in the water?
we don't talk about that.
I'm just saying. All I'm doing is citing the news, though. This is just what's going on, going viral, people talking. I'm not making claims. I'm like, hey, this person's saying this, that person's saying that. They went for a swim and they didn't like it very much.
No, it's perfectly normal.
There's been something happening outside my home. For a couple of days after a storm, there's in the sky like these flashing lights. It's like a flicker. So I looked it up, like evidently that could be dry lightning, dry storm or something.
Like a heat lightning type thing?
Yeah, so it doesn't look like lightning because there's no streaks or anything. It's just like flashes, like very minuscule, like half a second or so.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of weird that it's
Again, I'm not
happening.
making any claims to what the, what the cause is. They're just saying something weird's happening.
It's like a flicker or something. I was like, is that like they're testing Project Bluebeam or something? Like, what is that?
Yeah,
Most
they're
people don't
gonna
know that the
they gotta take out
Operation
flying.
Fishbowl, that's where it began. It's over towards that area. Everything else came later, but the program itself actually apparently began off towards Hawaii and that shit. And I looked up like, wait, what? I guess I forgot. I don't know.
And the really messed up thing is that I try to record it and the camera doesn't pick it up. It just doesn't show on the camera. So it's
You got to get a P900, bro. You get you a P or a P1000
yeah.
and a tripod so you can get a level.
I do need that.
I've been wanting one.
Honestly, I think that when we take this seriously, like this is our shit, and we are going to study this for the rest of our lives, then we become kind of true flat Earth scientists at that point. That's when you need to get gear. You start investing in whatever equipment you can get, learn how to use it, be the best at using it that you can amongst this group, and then just share your data points without opinion. Just share the data points, and everybody can discuss it from there, like peer-reviewed style.
Yeah.
That's my thought on it, bro.
Yeah. The
They always accuse us of being anti-scientific, right? I'm like, okay, let's take real data points then.
right. Yeah, that's the worst part about it too, is like the appeal to authority. It's like one of the first logical fallacies, is like the main one that the majority of people use is like, well, like the scientists know,
They don't understand that
yeah.
the Science Foundation says that babies are born scientists. So it's basically saying you're a scientist, act like it. And then they'll, no, I'm not a scientist. I trust the scientist. What?
Yeah. Yep. And it's sad because that's exactly why they're doing this. You're taking the power away
They
from
want
people.
rules for thee and not for me, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So
They want you to think that you're just a regular peasant. You can't be a scientist. You don't have a little piece of paper that says you're a scientist that you got from some scientific university. And that's not what science is.
those people are born with gifts, apparently. Like those people are just better. They're just smarter than you. So
That's when you can
Even if you
utilize
do have somebody,
words as. That's when you can say such sentences as "trust the science," and it just like brainwashes people. It's like, okay, like zombies, we're gonna trust the science. Yes, Lord. Yes.
hey, Mr. CS, if you'd like to get VC verified, I can hop up into the VC check-in with you and get you a role so you'll be able to chat in here now.
And that guy looks like he listened to Eric Dubay just now.
Oh, they're already in there too. I'll be right back. I'll hop up in there with Steak and Sheepdog.
that's fucking hilarious. Dude,
Yeah, we're like very, very receptive as a collective group to these key catchphrases that they use. I mean, we aren't because we're already out of the spell, but they can just say trust the science, and okay, the population is just like stretching out their arms and just following. Yes, we're gonna trust the science. Whatever the television tells us, just do
I
the
think
thing.
I think of the SpongeBob movie when they're like all hail plankton with the buckets on their head. Oh, dude, my tooth is in excruciating pain right now, and I'm looking for ibuprofen, but I can't find any. Uh,
Just take the pain, my man. Just take the pain. Yeah.
Two things suck. Sorry, suck. Um,
This is kind of random, but I've been thinking about this. Like they say that dogs can sense an earthquake because they have like some acute sense to that. But I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if it's just because they don't have shoes on. That's why. Like they're grounded, so they can feel it. Like the ripples kind of reach them faster than it does us. So we can't tell the earthquake is coming quite yet because we have shoes on. If we didn't have shoes on, then probably would be able to tell it faster because we would feel the vibration in our skin of the bottom of our soles. So yeah, I think that theory about dogs sensing the earthquakes faster is probably bullshit.
Oh, that's what they say is because they're just not wearing shoes.
No, that's what I say. That's what I say. They say it's because like dogs have like some extra sense that they're like more advanced than people when it comes to like sensing things.
Oh,
But I say
that
it's only because we're the ones wearing shoes and they're not, so they can feel it.
right. That would make sense to me.
Yeah.
So, but it's like how much sooner can they detect an earthquake before us, though? Like, do
It
they
seems
claim?
like about 2 seconds. From what I've seen in footage, like the dog freaks out 2 seconds before the shit hits the fan.
Yeah, I mean that could be a lot of things. It can be their ears too are like crazy compared to ours.
Maybe.
But I mean, yeah, I've felt an earthquake twice in my life, and both times I was like, "What the fuck? What just happened?"
Yeah, I only felt it once, and it was like insane.
Yeah, I was like, I thought someone like got their leg and pushed my bed out from under, like not out from under me, but like rocked my bed. I was like, who the
You
fuck?
know,
Like, who is?
yeah, I'm
Um,
sorry. Go ahead.
no, you're good. What's up?
No, I was gonna say, if you actually think about it, the fucking earthquake will destroy the globe. The earthquake, that's when the Earth's really moving, right there.
Yeah,
Right.
As they
Yeah.
said,
you
that
can
when
feel it
it
then.
really move, you could feel it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right, dude. It's like a, yeah. It's like any. You know. Here's the thing too. Is like, imagine if we're a speck of dust in space, right? Like, supposedly there's things that are so much bigger compared to us, apparently, that it's like, wouldn't it just be a matter of time before one of these rocks that are like basketball sized compared to our grain of sand, like, till we just hit? Like, isn't it? Wouldn't that make so much more sense that eventually we're just gonna run into some problems? Maybe the Earth is gonna slightly go off track, even if it goes, one millionth of a
But they do have those like articles sometimes. Sometimes those articles comes out like a scientist shot down some sort of projectile that was coming towards Earth. They saved the day. You have those articles, so that like
uh,
I guess they're playing into it.
yeah. It's like, man, if if our speed shifted at all, even a little bit, ever, the whole world would end, is what they say. It's
Yeah,
like,
there would be irregularities. Like you would feel things. It's like so ridiculous. In the first place, just the speed of how fast we're going. We just feel that. Like none of the atmosphere would stick to the Earth. Like it's just ridiculous.
yeah,
It's like the dumbest thing ever. If you're going like 90 million miles an hour, come on, like none of this stuff is sticking to the ball. It's just would just all be left in place.
here's the thing. I've been just writing a lot about just. I've always like used to write a lot, but recently I've been writing a lot about flat Earth and stuff, and um, I've kind of been coming up with like this analogy of like Have you ever seen the movie The Forest?
I have not. No, I don't watch movies really much, but yeah, somebody might
So,
have seen somebody else. Cambo.
yeah. Sure. So anyway, just to briefly explain what it's about, it's a movie where they're stuck in like medieval times, right? And this is a spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen it, but they're not really in ancient times. It's just they're in this or sorry, not the forest. It's called the village, and they're in this little village, and they're stuck in medieval times. And the village elders tell everyone like there are monsters, in the tree line, and they kill anyone who ventures outside. Um, what it really is just like the village elders dressing up as monsters and killing people if they try to escape. Um, but it's like, imagine that's your setting. All you know is this village. You don't know anything else. There's this whole other civilizations flourishing around you, bunch of different technology, but all you know about is your little section of land, your village. This is all you've ever known since birth. Um, the amount of possibilities that are out there are endless. So it's like you could say that, okay, I'm gonna be logical and assume that what I'm being told is true, and for my safety, maybe I just don't venture outside the forest. You're never gonna find the truth that way if you know, but also you can't even begin to find a motive to go find the truth if you don't see evidence of a lie in the first place, right? So it's like people who think we're on a ball, they don't understand the complexity of what's happening outside of this little box that we've been conditioned to fit in. And, if you actually found the reason, sorry, not the reason, the evidence of you're being tricked, if you saw that, then you'd be like, okay, now I can go try and figure out the truth. But if you just watch news all day, you're on social media all the time, you're plugged in, you're never going to even understand that there's something that you need to expose, you know? So I think that's really where we're at for the most part with a lot of people is they don't get that there's something that's a lie
That's
fundamentally.
I like how you said that. It almost sounded like Plato's allegory of the cave.
Yep, that's pretty much exactly what it is. Yep,
May I
yep.
ask a question to understand you better then?
Go ahead.
If you using that methodology, say you escape from the cave, you get to the bigger cave, and you keep doing that cave after cave after cave, but you keep getting the same answer. What do you do then?
Um, well, I mean, I don't know. You keep
Yeah.
you keep trying. I mean, it's an endless journey at that point.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't find an
you know,
answer that's actually sufficient, and it's a different one. It's not the same one.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no
yeah.
right and wrong answer in that case, And I mean, if you
Mhm.
keep going, like, oh shit, there's more cage. There's more cage. Oh, there's more cage out there.
Right. As
So,
long as
Well,
there's more, that's all you need
yeah,
to. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
I know
that's
since Sun.
understandable, yes.
No,
But
go
no,
ahead,
I
brother.
get what you're
I
saying.
definitely
It's a problem.
okay. Yeah, well, so let's say you find out the shadow. I'm sorry, I just really like the Plato's allegory like that. It's great. You see the shadow, you finally break free from your chains, and you find out what's causing this shadow. And then you go to the next cave, and you find out it's the same creature, or at least the same kind of creature that keeps causing the shadow over
Hmm.
and over and over again. Isn't it safe to say that as you continue on, say you went through 100 caves, you keep getting the same thing. When you get to the 101st cave, there is a good possibility where that shadow might actually be caused by the same kind of creature.
Sorry, you're saying that at the 101st.
Yes, and I say that because let's say somebody who believes, or whether they discovered or not, they have a particular take towards a certain shape of the earth. Each cave they go through, no matter what cave they jump in, or even Discord servers for comedy's sake, they keep getting the same answer in regards to the shape over and over and over again. They question the shadow, they question the creature, they question how they even got into that chair chained up in the first place. They do it over and over and over, but they keep getting the same answer. Is it the fault of the explorer or the person who broke free from bonds, or is it the fault of the shadow being caused by the creature?
Right. That's a fucking good point. I don't know. What do you think?
I would ultimately have to say it's the responsibility of the person breaking free from chains, either accepting or at least acknowledging that kind of creature is going to constantly cause that kind of shadow along the walls of the cave, aka that might actually be the reality.
Yeah, and I don't remember. So the allegory goes at the end. He gets out right into the real world. Is that correct?
To my understanding, no. When you break free, you enter into a new cave that's bigger or at least different than the cave that you previously were. You take the knowledge of the previous cave and you bring it with you to the new cave. And then each time you escape from one cave and you enter into another, you keep bringing that knowledge over and over and over again. It just keeps building. Then when you, towards the end of your life journey or death, basically, when you're in that last cave, you take all that knowledge from before and you enter into the slumber, aka death. Now, with that said, that same shadow through all the caves you've been through, always caused by the same kind of creature over and over and over again. To question it is good, but then to deny it, I would say would be the responsibility of that person. Now, where do you draw the line? Is understanding and dissecting that shadow associated with that creature.
Mm-hmm. Right. Um. Yeah, I get that. I'm just Googled. I'm trying to figure out because I could have swore at the end he gets out, um, and then he's like still questioning, like,
Yes.
um,
And it's supposed to be, if I remember correct, and I could be wrong, I could be very wrong. It's supposed to be that's when life ends. When you finally exit out that last cave. That's it.
yeah,
Game over. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. You get to that point. But again, you went through all those caves, and that same shadow was everywhere.
uh-huh,
What then?
right. Well, you have to ask yourself a fuck ton of, or sorry, you have to ask yourself a lot of questions. Because ultimately, your brain is the most powerful thing that you know of, right? So you need to, man. This goes with every. It's so funny because this is directly relates to flat Earth for me. It's like I figured that out. Now it's like you start questioning everything, right? So it's like now I'm like, oh well, was religion just a power tactic? Was our relationships just um uh um what do you call it? A perception that I've been given. Um, you start questioning everything, and this is it's so funny that like Plato and Socrates were like the earliest versions of this idea of like the more you know nothing, right? So it's
Oh,
like,
well said. Well said.
and the more we as humans try to put like philosophies to life, it's like the more you realize that it doesn't work. You know, you
Oh, I would
try
take
to
that a step
go.
further. I would take that a step further. I would say not just the more you don't know, also some things just doesn't matter. And
Some
I
things
say that
don't.
as to, yeah, like say you see that shadow and you just realize this shadow is simply just a shadow. At that point, you get to that cave, you just look at that shadow that you were worried about this whole time, but you notice the shadow did nothing the entire time. It just was there. Should I
Hmm.
even pay attention to that shadow the entire time? You have all these other shadows that a fire behind you is creating. But does it really matter? Even when you turn around, it
Yeah.
turns out that shadow is a vase or vase, depending on who says it. Then should you even care about that shadow?
Right. And that, yeah, it's like, what if, because a lot of the trap we fall into too is we understand this truth is like, we think this is like the biggest thing. There could be so much more to it.
Yes.
When people talking about like it could be more land, it's like, oh man, you don't understand. In that same analogy where I was talking about the village, once people break out of the village and they understand that all of what they knew about previously was a lie. Well, now imagine they go into like industrialized nations, right? Now
Yes.
it doesn't even matter that you figured all that out. Like there was this whole thing happening. This billions of people are on the other side doing their whole, you know, a whole nother thing. How do we
Yes.
know that once we break the flat earth spell and we tell everyone that, it was all fake and we go to Antarctica, we discover all this, what what do we do then? You know, it's
Mhm.
like, and I'm not saying don't strive to uncover the truth. You definitely do. You still do. But
Yes. It's funny
uh,
because hopefully I get an assignment in Antarctica I just put in for that recently. Now that you said that.
for what now? You're gonna have to say that again.
Oh, sorry, I'm active duty Air Force, and there's a station up in Antarctica, not Antarctica, but up north, and I put in to be assigned there for a year. So it's funny you mentioned that.
Oh, see, it's funny when they say people in the Air Force know the Earth's a globe. And it's like, yeah, I'm talking to someone in the Air Force right now. Like,
Hey,
um,
that's a good one.
they say like there's no professionals that think the Earth is flat. It's like they're all over the place. Um, and I don't know much about it. I'm just saying, it's fun.
No, that's fine.
But
It's
yeah,
it's just a research facility for guys studying like the weather patterns and whatnot there. That's all it
gotcha,
is.
gotcha. Yeah, the North Pole too. It's like we're always talking about the South, but the North Pole is really important. Um, you know, that could be like the smoking gun for flat Earth right there. If we just were able to go to the North Pole by ourselves. Um,
I know there are some parts up there that there are adventurers that visit. I
yeah,
forgot what the name of the race is up there, but there is a race up north that only really, really crazy people do. Um,
sure. I've
as
heard
soon as I get a
about it.
chance, as soon as I get a chance, I'll try and share it. I'm driving at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, as far as my knowledge goes, I thought that, I mean, no real people have been to the North Pole, and like no independent person has been there. They say
Well,
like
actually,
Captain Cook and
yeah, I had two troops of mine that were stationed up there last year. They were telling me all their stories about it. I'm like, good, I want to visit it now. It's beautiful.
the North Pole.
Yes, in Antarctica, yeah, and they got a chance to actually go to where that weird pole is, and they took pictures and whatnot. I'm like, dude, that's cool.
Right, right, but we
They
don't
did say
know.
the assignment's boring, though. I'm like, oh, okay, if it's boring, I'll still try it just to say I've been there.
Right, but the pole they show, the compass, it doesn't like start going crazy directions when you walk around it. Like it's not. We don't know that that's the North Pole, right?
Uh, to my understanding, yes, that they physically went to the North Pole, especially if they took pictures with it.
Right, right. But so what I'm saying is like your compass is always going to point north, right? So I've never seen a video of someone who's like gone to the pole and then walk around that pole and their compass starts spinning out of control or it keeps pointing to the pole every time you walk around it. Is what I'm saying. Like they'll
I can
tell you like this is the North Pole, but we don't know for sure that is the pole, right?
I can ask an old chief of mine. She's still stationed up there. I can see if she can do that experiment for me. I mean,
Yeah,
she's
dude.
busy because she's the SEL for her unit, but I can ask her like, hey, when you have wild moments, you mind trying this?
Are you guys talking
Yeah,
about
for
the
sure.
ceremonial North Pole? Because the
The
actual South Pole, the actual North Pole is supposed to be in the middle of the ocean. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. The
I've
actual.
never heard of ceremonial North Pole before. That is new. Can you explain further, please?
So it's a
Yeah,
place
ceremony.
on,
That's the one you're
yeah,
talking about.
place on land where people can visit. I'm pretty sure it's in Greenland, but I may be corrected. But the
They
what
don't
they
claim that's
claim
the
to be,
actual. Yeah.
yeah, what they claim to be the North Pole is actually in the middle of the ocean on the maps.
Yeah.
So
I can ask. I don't know. Um, but I know guys in Greenland too. Out of well, it's not Thule anymore. They changed the name. I forgot what the new name is now. It's like Paterk. I can't even say the name.
Oh, you
what
mean yeah?
they changed the name of Greenland?
No. The base that's in Greenland. It used to be
Uh,
called Thule. Um,
okay.
yeah, Thule. That's the old name of it, but they renamed it after somebody up from up there, a native, and I can't remember the name, let alone pronounce the name.
Fuel. Huh, that's weird. That name. There was
Oh,
a society with there was a society with the same name. I think it was a German society. The Fuel Society. Is that right?
I have no idea. That's new. That's new to me.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you just Google South Pole, North Pole, and ceremonial North Pole, it'll come up.
Yeah.
Check that out. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Or
To my understanding, the ceremonial North Pole's not. They don't claim that to even be. That's like the one where there's a physical like pole and you go walk around it and take pictures and they take people on tours.
Okay.
And there's the actual geographical North Pole, which we don't actually know.
that's the
Yeah.
one.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You're
I'd have to
saying,
ask around to my old chief that's up there.
okay. No, but yeah, I mean that's all you'd have to do to it's like show a video of just just a normal, not no NASA or government agent, just a normal person go take a video of their compass spinning out of control and say, okay, well I'm at the north. There you go. The reason I think because I could have swore there was a video. I don't know what to search for now, but I believe Eric Dubé showed it of someone going to the North Pole and getting turned, or sorry, trying to go to the North Pole and they were getting turned around at gunpoint.
Are you
Now
talking about when they were intercepted by the Royal Navy?
I don't know. Maybe.
Because I remember hearing about that with Eric Dubé, and apparently they were sailing in waters where they had an active operation going on.
Okay.
Now, how true that is, unfortunately, I'm not Navy, so I cannot confirm that.
Right.
Was it Captain Cook?
Well, they say Captain Cook and someone else were on like a. They were like rivaling to get to the North Pole first, and he kept venturing off course in a bunch of directions and never actually ended up getting there. And it was more just like a newspaper story that kept going on. And it never actually happened. But what did actually happen, which is interesting for flat Earth, is the opposing explorer that tried to go to the North Pole wasn't having any luck because the ice was too thick or whatever, and so he went to the South Pole. Well, what he thought was the South Pole, and he saw that him trying to circle the continent was taking like so much longer than it should have if the Earth was a ball and it was a small little continent. Because he didn't know that he was just circling the outer rim of the world. And he said that he was tracking all kinds of different distances than what it should have been on a globe if the South Pole is just this little continent on the bottom, or sorry, if Antarctica is just this little continent on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how he figured that out. Like, because I'm not a sailor, but I wonder how he figured out that that's all he was doing.
What do you mean?
That he was just basically sailing along the outer wall. How did he figure that out? Like, there should have been
It's the
there
distance.
was there geographic stuff that he was able to like identify.
No, you need to There's actually if you Google the actual path that he was supposed to have taken, he goes nowhere near the south.
Yeah,
Like,
he keeps like
he's just in
tracking back
open
to,
water. Yeah,
yeah,
he goes back to land for provisions and stuff, and then it's
that's right.
so I don't know how they come up with the figure of 60,000 miles as well, because it's impossible to measure distance over water. So it's not
Dude,
really
I
a
was thinking the same thing. It's like
yeah.
how would you even yeah, because water there's no there's no ground to
Yeah, you,
say here's my
you can
reference point. I'm going this far away from this. It just doesn't you can't.
yeah. The only thing you've got is time and a maybe like an estimate of speed, and then you can work out distance. But if you're getting carried by currents in the opposite
Right.
direction of
Current,
speed, then
waves.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, not to pull Jeranism, but interesting.
Yeah. Wait, what about Jeranism?
The whole joke about Jeranism thing, interesting on his video when the whole the boards and the beach thing.
No, I'm not too sure what you're referencing.
It's I believe the name of the film is called Level,
Yeah, I've
and there
seen
was an
Level.
the experiment that Jeranism did in that, and he was trying to get the guy to hold the light.
They made like the hit piece, and there's an interesting like he proved that it was a globe or whatever. Okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid anybody going, "Oh, don't do that." I'm like, oh, well, hold on, I'm trying to make that joke.
Yeah. Interesting, dude. That's funny. Dude, I remember back in like 2017 or whatever it was, 18, when Vice did a documentary on, or was it Vice? Maybe it was Vice. The Flat Earth documentary. Was it Level? Is that what I'm thinking of?
I believe it was Level, yes.
Okay, so yeah, and it was literally a hit piece, and I remember being, I had all these friends and stuff that were talking about the documentary because they saw it on Netflix or whatever it's on. I don't know. I don't watch TV much, but they're all saying, "Oh, like look at this, they proved it's wrong or whatever." And I'm like, dude, I was watching this shit unfold behind the scenes. You guys don't know shit.
Oh, you were there.
Like, all right. Huh?
You were there.
No. I'm saying I was like subscribed to the channels that this documentary is actually about. And like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, like I was watching Jaren way back when, and he was calling it out way ahead of time. Like this is just gonna be a hit piece, but it'll be good for getting the word out. You know, um,
Oh yeah, to
because
learn what other people know. Yeah, that'd be nice.
yeah, um, yeah. So anyway, yeah, interesting. Jaren's great. Um, he he's like one of the go-to people I show to people if I don't have time. I'll give him his channel or Eric. Someone I'm really liking a lot now is Austin. Witsit, really good. Um,
Speaking of Witsit, has it ever been like resolved between him and Nathan Thompson? Because what Nathan did to him was kind of messed up.
oh, I don't even know anything about it.
Like, shape of the earth aside, all of that aside, what Nathan did to him was messed up. Like ditching him like that. Like, come on, that's I don't care what side of the spectrum you are when it comes to shape of the earth.
Yeah,
Ethically,
yeah, yeah.
what he did was messed up.
Yeah, I heard briefly about it. Like he called him an idiot and all this stuff. Like just attacks. I don't really know the full story.
Yeah.
But Nathan's a flat earther too, right? Nathan Oak.
Yes, so, but I like to describe him as a religious flat earther, and I say by way of that is he's more hardcore in regards to the religiosity of it rather than just the shape itself.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. It's kind of how Rob Skiba was, and rest in peace.
Yeah.
um, yeah. Rob Skiba actually did a lot of good evidence though and experiments. I believe he was like one of the first ones to do the Chicago skyline experiment. Um,
Yeah, I think I saw Rob Skiba did one, Red's Rhetoric did it, Soundly did it, Dave. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember the name of this other guy. Dave something, I can't remember.
Flat Earth
Allegedly,
Dave,
Dave.
allegedly
Allegedly,
Dave.
Dave. Yep.
Allegedly Dave, thank you. And
Flat,
also, there
flat.
was multiple people that did that.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
But Rob Skiba, Rob was one of the legend, man. Rest in peace to him. You know,
yeah.
heart goes out to his family. I don't know the full story what happened, but since I came here about 2 months and I heard he passed, I'm like, what? That's the reason why I haven't heard from him. Um,
Yeah.
no, the last 3 years bullshit, whatever.
Yeah.
I would love to know what really happened. Maybe one of
Yeah.
these days, one of us gonna come out and let us know in a different room, not this room.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry, I'm being
Um,
pulled away from work. I'll be back.
alright.
You fired, bro. You fired. You supposed to be working, not coming to Discord and start talking about flat Earth.
Station.
Hey, man, it's speculation Sunday, man, and yep, we can speculate about almost anything as long as
Well,
flat Earth stuff.
um, well, I speculate about what actually is causing the world to, I guess, stay flat instead of go round. People say make the world go round. Like, it seems to be electromagnetic. Um, that just makes so much. You can replicate that things floating above, you know, with electrostatics. Our whole atmosphere is electric. That's why lightning happens. So it only makes sense that the sun and the moon and stars and everything are kind of results of some sort of electric. Um, you know, uh,
Yeah.
electric power.
I know Witz had said something like that or whatever. I mean, I'm pretty sure certain people agree with him. Certain people will be like, "Hey, man, so you make a claim, you got to show us proof," And it's kind of tough sometimes when it comes to that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a really kind
that's
of
where the sorry, I keep cutting you.
no.
Sorry.
Go ahead, brother. No problem.
No, I was just saying, yeah, that's where like the hard stuff comes into play. It's like we can explain why the globe is stupid. We can do that all day.
Hmm.
Um, but then when it gets to the actual like electromagnetic world, and you know, Nikola Tesla even back then was describing, the ether is like just filled with it, and it's just here for everyone, and um,
Get
I mean,
you, brother.
every person, every human being is electric. Um, you know, and I mean, we can replicate things like you've seen experiments where people hold like they'll get like a magnet and float it over, um, whatchamacallit. You've seen it where they'll have like a track and you can float,
I
so,
seen it. Yeah.
yeah, and you can just
You know,
float. So that would
the
perfectly
the globe
explain
would
our state.
call anti-gravity. The globe people, that's what they call anti-gravity. Yeah, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's like the whole world's anti-gravity then.
Yeah.
I am definitely anti-gravity. Have been
And
for a few
another
years.
thing too, right? It's with the whole claim electrostatic or whatever, sometime when we ask for the claim, I mean when we ask for the evidence, the proof, whatever, and certain people don't want to give the proof, so it's just a claim. But then at the same time, who knows, they can make million out of this stuff. They can just make just little toys off levitate stuff, you know up in the air,
Uh-huh.
make a toys,
Yeah.
just like a little toys, man. Everybody would buy it, So some, I don't know, maybe they want to keep us as long as they could, so they can make something out of it, And maybe that's something not people want to like. Hey, this is my stuff, and then all of a sudden somebody start copying that, take that idea and go make just little toys and make millions or even billions out of this stuff. So who knows, man? But it's tough, man.
Wait,
It's
wait,
Hey,
what are you saying that we can't?
No, I'm not saying we can't. I'm just saying like okay, like Austin, he make a claim about the electrostatic and stuff, whatever. And some of us would be like, "Hey, show us the proof. You make the claim, right?" So, I'm just saying like maybe he doesn't want to show it, maybe he doesn't want to show it, or maybe it's because somebody might take his idea and just make toys and sell to everybody, like just a little toy that can make stuff levitate up in the air, and they can make millions out of that. Who knows? There's a lot of things go behind that, but
I mean,
I'm not
there are little toys and stuff you can buy that are like that. They kind of levitate and
the
um.
one that you and me talked about earlier too,
I
right?
mean, there's just a bunch of different examples like those little magnetic pens, that you can flicker around and spin around, and they kind
Mhm.
of levitate off your desk or whatever. There's like
Yeah.
I guess I just don't really get what you were. I mean, there's evidence for it, for like electromagnetic forces. I mean, no one denies that that exists. The question would just rather be: is that how the sun and the moon and stars are operating? Is that a result of electrostatics, or is it something else? That we don't know. It's not a question of,
No, I was
you
just
know,
saying with the whole electrostatic stuff. I was just responding to you. Just throw my thoughts out there. I think that some of the flat earther would you know would um would want certain would should make a claim about electrostatic. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm pretty sure he know what the fuck he's talking about. But then at the same time, some of the flat earthers, some of us be like, hey, show us the proof. You're making claim about this, just like the server. If
Oh,
you come
sure.
in here and you start making claim, if you run into certain OGs in here, they're gonna be like, well, show us the proof. And
Sure. So what
that's what
did?
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm disagree with. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
No, I know.
some.
I just
Yeah.
I don't. I guess I don't know what the claim was that you're talking about. What?
No, remember you brought up like everything is electrostatic and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you said that, because Woodson they made a claim about it, and I'm just saying like, oh well, so that is the claim, right? Because the Globe also make a lot of claims, but every
right.
time they ask for the proof, they fail. But the OGs in here, and the same thing with the server, with the Discord server 24/7. When you come in here, this server is like if you making you can speculate, but if you stop making claim and if you run into some of the OGs, they're gonna ask for proof, for evidence,
No,
citation or demonstration.
gotcha, gotcha,
I'm just
gotcha.
saying, what I mean, I'm not disagreeing with anybody here, but I'm just saying that's also what going on here.
No, I
And I
gotcha.
learned, I learned that, bro. I only been here about almost 2 months, bro, and yeah, I learned certain thing in here, which is good, um,
Gotcha.
in a lot of ways, yeah.
Hey, good evening, fellas. I'd like to chime in on the electromagnetic or the electrostatic idea. This is Max, right? So,
Yeah.
and it is Speculation Sunday. So, I'm of the opinion also that this is an electric world, right? And there are many reasons for it. Um, whether, you can measure the electricity in the air, or, how they say that the water is a salt bridge, or,
Mhm.
uh, the evidence that is clear is that we are electric as well.
Yeah,
When your heart fails, they immediately go to what? A defibrillator, which is an electric
hmm,
charge to try to bring you back.
that's right.
Which means, and there's all sorts of measure of electrical impulses, whether it's through synapses and nerves or whatever in the human body. We hold charges and we discharge as well. When we have what is it, static electricity shock and all those sorts of things. So
Yep.
I'm of the opinion that we are electric and that this is an electric world. All of the fossil fuels that we use, we turn them into electricity, in order to make it more useful, more effective, because electricity is how we run almost everything here. Uh,
Hmm.
uh, as far as WITS is concerned, I did see an experiment on the Van de Graaff generator showing where he added and
Yeah.
removed electric charge from certain items and made them heavier or lighter. So I am of the opinion that we are not in the most advanced society in the world, but that's what we recorded. I'm of the opinion that they've learned how to utilize this stuff years and years and years before we started recording the history we have today. So that's all
Yeah,
I want to chime in on Speculation Sunday.
that's why in a lot of like the old cathedrals and buildings and towers, you'd see it had like a spire, and then it would go into like some sort of cage at the base of the spire where it would hold like some sort of something that was like harnessing something. I just saw that on yeah, it's like everyone back then knew about this electric world, but it's like and if someone like Tesla comes out and starts talking about it, well, we'll just kill him real quick. Um, Tesla was
Also
saying,
include Ben Franklin and his kite, right?
right. It's like he was telling us, well, I mean, energy's free. Um, the whole world is electric. You don't need, and then but they talk about Edison like he was the most genius person, but Tesla was telling us for years that it was an electric world, and he gets killed for it. So, um, yeah, man. It's funny. You can actually show an electric model of Earth. You can't show a model using gravity. You know. Um,
What is your profession? See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.